Imagine showing up at the airport, only to discover you're one of nearly 19 million people trying to catch a flight over the same holiday week. Now imagine TSA officers opening a jar of peanut butter and finding live smoke grenades hidden inside. It sounds unbelievable, but both of these stories happened at the same time, and they're exactly why the TSA is issuing one of its biggest warnings of the year. Stay with me, because one of these stories could save you hours at the airport, and the other might be one of the strangest airport security discoveries ever. Let's get into it. If you're flying over the 4th of July holiday, here's the headline you need to know. The Transportation Security Administration says this is expected to be the busiest Independence Day travel period in U.S. history. Between June 30th and July 6th, nearly 18.7 million passengers are expected to pass through airport security checkpoints. Think about that for a second. That's almost the entire population of New York State moving through airport security in just 1 week. And here's where it gets even crazier. Officials believe July 2nd alone could see more than 3 million travelers passing through TSA checkpoints in a single day. That's a new record. So if you've ever complained about long security lines, this year could be on an entirely different level. But why is everyone traveling at once? It's actually a perfect storm. Millions of Americans are traveling for 4th of July celebrations. Major FIFA-related events are drawing visitors from around the world. And celebrations connected to America's 250th birthday are bringing even more people into major cities. Put all of that together, and airports are preparing for one of the busiest weeks they've ever seen. Fortunately, TSA says security checkpoints are fully staffed and ready for the crowds. But ready doesn't necessarily mean fast. Even with extra staff, larger crowds almost always mean longer wait times. That's why officials are urging travelers to arrive earlier than normal and double-check their bags before heading to the airport. And speaking of bags, this next story is exactly why. Imagine being a TSA officer. You scan thousands of bags every day. Most contain clothes, shoes, toothbrushes, maybe a laptop. Then, suddenly, a jar of peanut butter sets off an alarm. At first, that probably doesn't sound too unusual, until officers decide to inspect it. Inside the peanut butter, they discover 2 live smoke grenades. Someone had actually pushed one of the grenades directly into a full jar of peanut butter. Needless to say, that didn't fool anyone. The discovery happened at Indianapolis International Airport after the passenger's checked bag was flagged for additional screening. TSA supervisors and explosive specialists were immediately called in. Local police arrived. The airline was notified, and the passenger was escorted back to the ticket counter. Then came the explanation. According to TSA, the traveler told officers that a friend had suggested hiding the smoke grenades inside peanut butter because TSA wouldn't find them. Spoiler alert. They found them immediately. Now here's the part many people don't realize. Modern airport screening isn't just looking for objects. It's analyzing shapes, densities, and materials. In other words, wrapping something dangerous inside food doesn't magically make it invisible. Security systems are specifically designed to detect unusual objects, even when they're hidden inside everyday items. So tricks like this don't outsmart airport security. They simply guarantee extra attention. But here's something else that surprises a lot of travelers. Peanut butter itself has caused problems before. Not because it's dangerous, but because TSA considers it a liquid. Well, technically a spreadable cream. That means if you're carrying peanut butter in your carry-on bag, anything larger than 3.4 ounces isn't allowed through security. Most people think liquids only include drinks, but peanut butter, cream cheese, certain dips, even thick sauces, all fall under the same carry-on restrictions. And that's caught plenty of travelers off guard. In fact, this isn't even the first food-related warning TSA has issued recently. Not long ago, the agency had to remind travelers that bottles of ranch dressing also count as liquids. The reminder came after several international visitors bought large bottles of ranch while visiting the United States and planned to take them home. Unfortunately, they discovered the rule only after arriving at airport security. The posts quickly went viral online because so many people had no idea ranch dressing falls under the exact same restrictions. It sounds funny, but it happens far more often than you'd think. The peanut butter grenade, however, was on an entirely different level. TSA officials say prohibited items don't just violate security rules. They can create genuine safety risks. Imagine if one of those smoke grenades had accidentally activated during a flight. Even if no one intended to use it, smoke filling an aircraft cabin at 35,000 feet would almost certainly trigger panic, emergency procedures, and possibly even an emergency landing. That's why airport security treats these discoveries so seriously. And believe it or not, this isn't even close to the strangest thing TSA officers have found. Over the years, they've intercepted ammunition hidden inside baby diapers, drugs sewn into hair scrunchies, weapons concealed inside everyday objects, and countless other creative, but unsuccessful, attempts to sneak prohibited items onto airplanes. If someone has tried it before, there's a very good chance TSA has already seen it. So what does all of this mean if you're flying this holiday? First, expect airports to be crowded. Very crowded. If TSA's projections are accurate, this could become the busiest 4th of July travel period ever recorded. Second, give yourself extra time. A small delay on one of the busiest travel days of the year can quickly snowball into missed connections or long waits. And finally, know what's inside your luggage before you leave home. That includes checking whether food items, liquids, batteries, or other objects meet TSA requirements. A quick bag check today could save you a major headache tomorrow. So here's the takeaway. Nearly 19 million people are expected to travel through U.S. airports this holiday week. Security lines will likely be longer than ever. TSA officers will be busier than ever. And if someone tells you they know a clever trick to sneak prohibited items through airport security, don't listen. Because if a jar of peanut butter couldn't fool TSA, neither will anything else. If you're traveling this week, stay safe, arrive early, and pack smart. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe because we'll keep bringing you the biggest travel news, the strangest security stories, and the headlines everyone will be talking about next.